Thinking for yourself is hard. I'm losing my mind right now. It is physically painful to watch society get less and less intelligent and more weird and evil and devoid of empathy by the day. At Grok, is society really getting less intelligent? What I want to know is, how did Dr. Jill Biden miss stage 5 metastatic cancer, or is it yet another cover-up? The president's son, everyone. It's a cult. As the Trump family scams pile up, it's hard to imagine anyone more obsessed with grifting money from feeble-minded people. By L. Ron Hubbard. Trump and Hubbard would have loved each other. I don't think Trump is capable of love. Sad. Maybe MAGA thinks cancer is a friend of the United States, just like Russia. We're going to build a big, beautiful gold dome. Am I crazy, or did we just have a convo about how we can't fund cancer research? Every single Democrat just voted against the largest middle-class tax cut in history. You have a very strange definition of middle class. New innovations in boomer generational economic warfare. My wife and I paid off my stepdaughter's $415,000 mortgage in exchange for her house, but it's now worth $310,000. Should we sue? We're 71 and 67 and we can't afford this kind of loss in retirement. Trump said Biden got stage 9 cancer, and we just gonna go about our day like the dumbest white man to ever live isn't occupying the White House? Apparently, a big part of an American elected Congress member's day is just picking fights with random citizens for no reason. Acuity, purple hair, and they them pronouns? We got the trifecta of woke coming from Brooklyn College's 2025 Salatorian. When a picture speaks 1,000 words, who needs a generational speech? The most degenerate part about the current state of politics is that elected Congress members will for no reason at all go out of their way to target random citizens. More often than not, young people. How is this even legal? She's a councilwoman, not a member of Congress. It's still absurd that she's going after a private citizen who's committed no crime. I mean, to be fair, even still senators and members of Congress still do it. Can't you see? That person looks happy and is okay with themselves. And horrible people who are rotten inside hate that. Looks like Damien here has committed the crimes of A, being comfortable in their own skin, and B, doing well at post-secondary school. I don't know what a Salatorian is. I never went to university, but I'm guessing it's like a valedictorian. Salutatorian is second, right behind the valedictorian. Usually they're only a few points behind, and it's definitely a great accomplishment. Imagine what these poor conservatives are feeling every time they hear he, she, they, and I. And even worse, if it comes from someone with hair dyed an unnatural colour? No wonder they're always so hateful. They must be constantly scared for their lives. Vote Democrat. No borders, no walls, and girls with balls. Yeah, right-wingers get so mad about jokes, lol. Straight Republican men are always talking about how they like their manly men. They like their men proud. I thought that was their boys. Since the Tangerine Traitor pardoned so many of the Proud Boys and all. And for all the talk about them being big alpha men, they always seem to be scared of things they don't understand. They yell, cry, and whine more than any other demographic too. Yeah, the guys who cry about the lack of manly men most of the time are the biggest bitches of them all. Every time you give Republicans power, they use it to hurt Americans. Every single fucking time. The big beautiful bill ain't beautiful, it's bullshit. House Republicans just voted for the largest cut to SNAP and Medicaid in US history, turning their backs on their own damn constituents, the working people they were sent here to represent. They don't serve the people, they serve the rich. Their voters don't see it. That's the power of the media. The media are hiding and redirecting blame to everyone except the guy holding the gun. And that's why they keep getting re-elected. Correction, their voters don't want to see it. I mean, they wouldn't even be able to read it if they could see it. New from the White House, hatred has no place in the United States of America under President Donald Trump. And meanwhile, I hate Taylor Swift. This is the real ongoing cover-up of a senile president. Why did Trump sign a proclamation authorizing his administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan migrants? I don't know when it was signed because I didn't sign it, other people handled it. Trump did, in fact, sign it. Hey, if the media is interested in a cover-up of a senile president who's not really in control of his White House, there's one going on right now? Sounds like someone was using that autopen they keep complaining about. Remember folks, every accusation is a projection. In this case, Trump did in fact use the autopen. Like, it's on record he used it. As did Biden and Obama. Which makes it all the more stupid he's trying to make a thing about it. Well, hey viewer, if you don't accuse your predecessing president of the things you're exactly doing, you should totally press the like and subscribe button. Because according to YouTube statistics, most of you guys aren't. So if you want to make this gay guy reading stuff happy, you should totally press those buttons. Amen. If only Christian charity were as easy as accessorizing. A tattoo doesn't turn someone into a gang member any more than a shiny gold cross can turn someone into a Christian. Grift in plain sight. At Trump's meme coin dinner, the guests who paid for the invite can count on anonymity. If Obama or Biden himself made such a gaffe, Fox News would be running with it for a week, months, or years. Republicans are pretty effective like that. They grab onto any and all opportunities and then roll with it until it's just beating a dead horse, and then some. Democrats do fucking nothing. The amount of embarrassing shit Trump does daily gives people so many chances to ridicule him into the ground. But we just let it go after a few days instead. It is very frustrating and honestly a bit terrifying that mainstream media keeps sane-washing Trump, and acting like the president making obvious mistakes like this isn't a reflection on his mental state and or competence, while they absolutely salivated over any verbal stumble Biden made. Biden stuttering. Oh my god, he's so old and demented. Trump making 0 sense and accepting bribes. Why Biden isn't as great as Trump? Cowards. All of them. Hayes. Every provision in this program is cruel and they know it. That's why none of them spoke on it in committee. That's why they have no response. That's why they don't hold town halls. That's why they don't answer questions. All they do is tweet, repeat, and hide in the back until they vote yes. What in the Gestapo is this crap? ICE arrests continue today at immigration courts nationwide, with ICE officers handcuffing people in the hallways after ICE prosecutors moved to dismiss cases. Today, we got more confirmation that even where judges are not dismissing cases, ICE is still detaining people in some cases. ICE officers are showing up at courts with lists of names, okay NKVD. It remains unclear exactly how those lists are generated, and arresting almost everyone on the list when they can. Afterwards, they're putting anyone whose cases were dismissed through expedited removal, with the goal of deporting them quickly. Standing up whenever and as long as it's needed. Jeffries, we will stand up today, stand up tomorrow, stand up this week, stand up next week, stand up this month, stand up next month, stand up this year, next year, stand up all times until we end this national nightmare and restore the American dream for every single person. Cruelty is the point, and hurt the right people are Republican mottos. Underwood. This represents the largest cut to healthcare in US history. The largest cut to food assistance in US history. Literally, they are stealing the food out of the mouths of hungry kids. Pay for a tax cut for billionaires. It is cruel, it is anti-American, and it's just plain wrong. Anti-American? Feels extremely American to me at this point. Classically American, yes, but a lot of us are frustrated that the feel-good version of America we were sold as kids was bullshit all along. And even more pissed that it is entirely within the realm of possibility, like, we could be that America. But a dozen or so rich pieces of shit want to get their meaningless high score even higher, even though it brings them no fucking benefit. Ooh, someone just tripped over the most ironic part of the Republican fear of teaching a liberal view of America in public education. It's those very people that actually have higher aspirations for what America should and can be. Trump pardoned Proud Boy leader Enrique Tarrio, who helped plan Jan 6th. Great question. Maybe someone should ask Podium Barbie tomorrow morning. If gang affiliation is illegal, why isn't every Proud Boy and Klan member sent to El Salvador? Not too long ago, this kind of pardon was something that many thought Trump wouldn't do, because it would hurt him politically. But now, he can just practically do any illegal shit, and nothing can be done about it. Well, nothing was done about the shit that he pulled in his first term. Then, the Supreme Court said the president can do whatever they want. So, what did we expect? There were some restraints on the stuffs that he did in his first term, but now most of those are gone. Especially after the Supreme Court allowed it. I can't wait to see the shit show when it's time for him to leave office. It's gonna be good. If he leaves office. Blatant corruption. Trump's hosted a private dinner for the top buyers of his meme coin, which has made him the world's newest crypto billionaire. The top 25 coin buyers will get a VIP White House tour. Call it what it is. Corruption. He's so fucking stupid, he doesn't recognize when he's being insulted. Ramaphosa. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have a plane to give you. Trump. I wish you did, I would have taken it. Just a reminder that the Trump family despise black people. He and his father refused to rent to them, and got sued because of it. And I'm not sure if this is true, but knowing him it probably is. Apparently before Donald and Ivana would show up at his casinos, the managers had to gather all the black employees and hide them in a back room because the Trumps didn't want to see them. Woody Guthrie, This Land Is Your Land, had a song about how racist Trump's dad was. Yep, like father, like son. The FBI should look into... Oh, wait. Damn it, I wish there were laws or something to prevent that. On the same day the government agreed to pay $5 million to the family of January 6th rioter, Ashley Babbitt, the Justice Department announced it was charging New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIlva with assaulting an ICE agent. New in, Department of Justice politicization escalates with bogus arrest of Rep. LaMonica McIlva. Even Eleanor Haber's sworn declaration contains obviously false statements, clearly disproven by the body cam footage ICE released to the media, and her online posturing appears to violate the DOJ's own rules. Arresting politicians for bogus reasons. Where have I seen that before? Wait, why did the traitor's family get $5 million? She joined a violent mob assaulting police. Can I have $5 million for attacking a cop with a baseball bat or a flagpole or pepper spray? They're paying them to show that supporting the fascists will get you rewarded. For now, at least. The same reason why Trump pardoned everyone that was in prison for Jan 6th. It's funny that even after that, they're consistently finding themselves dead or back in prison. Good people, I suppose. I understand why you're an aspiring fiction writer. I see why. Chef, I understand your view that you can cut half of the agency and it won't affect people's health or their water or air. That to me is a big fiction. You could give a rat's ass about how much cancer your agency causes. Obama's tan suit got a lot more outrage and coverage than this outright corruption scandal. It's not bad when we're doing it, it's only bad when my political dissonants do it. Breaking, the United States has officially accepted a luxury jet from Qatar to use as an Air Force One. The DoD confirmed to ABC News on Wednesday. The art of diplomacy. Trump introduces South African President Ramaphosa. He is a man who is certainly in some circles really respected, in other circles a little less respected. Yeah, probably less respected in your racist echo chamber of a political party. She and Trump are more sinister than the people are giving them credit for. Kristi Noem's answer concerning habeas corpus was not accidentally stupid, it was intentional ignorance. Her and Trump don't actually care what it's supposed to do or protect. They only care about whether they can use it as a cudgel against the American people. That is infinitely more terrifying. Make littering great again? The Interior Department is rescinding an order that would have phased out the sale of plastic water bottles and other single-use plastics in national parks or on public lands. Originally intended to curb pollution across the 480 million acres of federally managed land, the department has now reversed course and ordered all bans on plastic to be lifted. Never change, Kimmel. This is how to treat Jake Tapper. Jimmy Kimmel cancelled his whole show last night to avoid promoting Jake Tapper's Biden book. He turned out so much better than that fuckstick Adam Carolla. And Dr. Drew. Yeah, him too. Seriously, what the fuck happened? He was always the rational and compassionate one on Love Lines. Carolla, you could always tell, was an obnoxious prick whose only funny bit was being an obnoxious prick. Once you've heard it a few times, it got old fast. I gotta hand it to Kimmel, that took balls. Good for him. And he's been nothing but if not consistently pro-democracy and anti-Nazi. I love Kimmel, but I'm still puzzled on why he tried so hard to rehabilitate Bush's image though. This is a fair turn of events, to be completely fair. This man has been on a journey. Remember The Man Show? He is fundamentally different than he was 20 years ago. I mean, I think we'd all rather have those Republicans back, as opposed to the party we have now. Those Republicans back then are the reasons we have the Republicans now. I mean, the endgame of conservatism is fascism, whether it plans for it or not. There's only so long you can conserve a status quo as the world rapidly progresses until you have to start deceiving or forcing people to accept it. And because conservatism has morals as one of the most vague, principled goals, it can always fool itself into believing that even the most gruesome means are worth the good, as defined by them, they're preserving. Trump takes a mental acuity test every day and fails. Dear press, why do questions of mental acuity activate only with the prior, but not the current administration? I'm asking for a nation. On the topic of presidential mental acuity, the current president was awake at 1:30 AM, rage tweeting about his former opponent's crowd sizes, and calling Beyonce, Bono, and Bruce Springsteen unpatriotic entertainers. Where is the news cycle about his fitness for office? Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't think I want the guy in control of the largest nuclear arsenal on the planet just crashing out on a common basis on Twitter.com. I love this for Elon Musk. BYD Co. sold more electric vehicles in Europe than Tesla Inc. for the first time, overtaking the American brand that's long led the continent's EV segment. BYD beats Tesla in Europe for the first time with 169% sales surge. I wonder why. It's definitely not because Elon Musk's being a fucking fascist. Of course not. You'll be missed most of all, satire. Trump urged Melania, who holds no constitutional authority, to sign legislation during a White House ceremony. Fucking hell, imagine if Michelle had done this. I just don't want to hear anything ever again from the GOP about autopens or invalid signatures. And wasn't the first concept of an autopen in the US traced back to the 1700s or so? Yes, because a president has to sign a lot of stuff. Signature stamps date back to the 1860s, which are heavily used in the private sector. Ah, wow, that whole "I'm stepping back from politics" thing lasted a whole, checks notes, 18 hours. Elon Musk is expected to attend today's Oval Office meeting between President Trump and South Africa's president, per source. Which, if you look at the clips, he did. Musk was born and raised in South Africa and has been openly critical of the country's policies. This should be interesting. I'm sure he'll wear a suit to be respectful.